What is happening, y'all? Cowboy here, and welcome to another how-to wilds guide. And this time around we are taking a look at greatsword. Now greatsword has gotten some pretty significant changes in wild, so much so that I actually did this video, and then after looking more into it was like, hang on a second, these numbers don't add up. And so here we are redoing it. But it is in a fantastic position in my opinion. We are able to do instant true charge slashes from a number of different connecting abilities we have, and overall the actual damage curve has been smoothed out, so I think it is an excellent time to jump into greatsword. And while I do think it's an easy weapon to pick up and learn, I think it is one of the harder weapons to master because it requires a lot of monster knowledge and a lot of patience, but that patience will pay off with big meaty chops. So let's jump into it. Looking at the moveset, first off we have our overhead slash, followed by strong charge slash, followed by the true charge slash, otherwise known as the TCS. Now previously the TCS was the winner, clear across the board, did massive damage compared to everything else. Now at least, and these numbers I'm about to provide are based on damage tests against a Chotacabra, but I was hitting 50, 69, and then 107 with the TCS. So you would think, oh, well, TCS is still in the lead. But if you were to charge the attacks, the story is a little bit different, with them hitting for 102, 113, and then 129. And so, point being that if we are to charge our combo now, the TCS does not have nearly as much value as it used to back in World and Iceborne. Now this may change as we get more gear and more weapon skills and whatnot, but the point remains this is a fundamental change in how greatsword is going to get played. So in general now, if you have time to commit to a 3 charge, it will be worth it, but more than likely your go-to is going to be a shoulder tackle into a full for strong charge, and then from there 1, 2 into the TCS. Like I said, if you have time to charge all 3, go for it, but usually you're not going to have time to charge all 3, and most of the time you're going to be rolling into a tackle anyway. But the point remains, it will be worth fully charging up the strong charged as well as the TCS in terms of maximizing your damage returns now, because the values have been normalized across the board. Now as for our other attacks, for those brand new, we have wide slash on circle. You're really not going to use that much in combat. It's good to take out endemic life, but the damage value on it isn't that high and it can't be charged. As for tackling, off of any roll, we would hit triangle. While we're charging, you would hit circle. And tackling is a big fundamental thing when it comes to greatsword. You can tackle when you're fully charged. Any attack that's coming in that's not unblockable, you can keep tackling through. And keep in mind, this is going to cost stamina, but the point is you can tackle monsters, KO them, and then finally get that big hit if you so want. Now besides that, we also have the leaping wide slash, which that isn't really used that much. There are some kind of niche use cases with it in terms of mobility. Like if we were charging up and we wanted to go into a tackle, afterwards you could go to the side with a leaping wide slash and use that as kind of a makeshift dodge while you're also hitting the enemy. That will not work if you are in focus mode, because you'll just aim forward with it instead of dodging to the side. But if you still wanted to try and do it, what you'd have to do is that and then turn and move yourself, which is a little more awkward, but can kind of work. Besides that, off a tackle, right trigger and triangle to do the slap, and that's going to be one of your main ways to kind of get moving here. The one thing you don't want to do if you're new to greatsword is just walk around with it. You either want to roll with it or roll into a tackle, into a slap, into a roll, into a tackle, into a slap, and that's going to give you not only 2 KO hits, but it's also just going to give you more movement moving forward. Now another nice trick with greatsword is if we were to hit block and then roll, like block roll, we can then put away our weapon significantly faster, as opposed to just trying to dodge and roll or trying to just put away our weapon. And to kind of demonstrate this, I'll do 3 things. So after a swing, I'm going to spam the mega potion. You can see that's how long it took for my weapon to go away to where I could use a potion. Now I'll do the same thing, but I'm going to dodge out, went away at a decent speed, and now I'll do the same thing but with a block into a dodge. And you can see if you can get the timing down, block into dodge is going to instantly put the weapon on your back, whereas if you just try to roll and put it on your back, there's still a little bit of a delay because, you know, you just got done swinging this giant sword. So once again, just to show that, if you're trying to get it sheathed, you block, roll, stop. And once you get it down, it starts to go pretty fast, but you just tap the block. On the note of tapping block is actually quite useful with Greatsword now, because we can get a clash from it. So it's, from what I can tell, it's close to like a 0 frame, the perfect block, but right as an attack is about to hit, you block, and you get a couple different perfect blocks. You're going to end up getting the clash attack, which out of the clash attack, you can go into a strong charge slash, and then follow it up with a TCS for big damage. We can also do an offset attack now by hitting triangle and circle and holding them down. If you use that as a counter attack into a monster, you can then hit triangle and get a follow-up attack, which once again will go into a strong charge and a TCS, which is why that's kind of our main go-to combo. And then if you top that without charging, you'll just do the standard rising slash, which this is good for kind of sniping stuff out of the sky, maybe hitting endemic life, but not a whole lot of value there. But that kind of covers the basis of the Greatsword. There's a lot of rolling, there's a lot of shoulder tackling, there's a lot of charging and making sure you're in the right position. The introduction of focus mode is honestly crazy, because we can, you know, during a charge, like if I was to charge up this, I can completely turn around. I can do like a full 180-degree turn, and you can even do that like during the TCS charge. Like, look how much I spun during that. It's crazy to me. So we have a lot more freedom in where we're aiming with the Greatsword, and we have a lot more potency behind our first and second charged attack. But just keep in mind commitment. I think that's the biggest thing when it comes down to playing Greatsword, is you don't want to overcommit. And it's not going to be as punishing now with a charge attack going at like 102, 113, 129. Like, if you missed your TCS, yeah, it's still going to suck, and the numbers are only going to get bigger as our weapon gets stronger. But getting out the first and second attack will actually have some value now. But keep in mind, your best value is likely going to be from hitting the strong charged followed into the TCS. So with all that being said, let's jump in and do the hunt. Going to be trying to also show off the clash as well as the offset attack and how those work. I didn't really cover the wound attack, but it's very similar to other ones. You're going to hit the button. You can hit it a second time to finish the attack early. I haven't really found much of a use case for that, because once you get that attack up, you might as well just let it roll. And then from there, go into your TCS and get some big damage. And I mean, the more I've tested this, I think that's why we saw nerfs. I see a lot of people that are like, oh, the TCS doesn't hit like a nuke anymore. But like, I mean, honestly, I don't think it needs to, with as many TCSs as we can do, because you can chain like 4 back-to-back if you know what you're doing. So as we approach the monster, with Greatsword at least, I don't really like the dismount attack. Instead, I like to just hit X to jump off and then hold triangle to get a regular charge off. So, jump. And that's going to get him out very, very consistently. So I'm going to go ahead, stab him in the back, make a couple wounds, and I'll kind of show you what I was talking about with like getting off multiple TCSs in a row. Once this wound is here. So we're going to go ahead and do our draw finisher in the back. Out of that, I'm going to roll in, hit. Here's our first TCS. Right on the face. Roll out of that. Off of the focus slash, we can go straight into a TCS. Follow up. Another perforate. And we'll do another one. From what I can tell, as soon as you do that, it basically gives you like hyper armor startup while you're doing that attack, so always try to prioritize that. get a couple of the perfect blocks out. Come on, hit me again. Do it again. I want to show the clash. You're wasting too much time. Stop licking your hands. Cat. Oh, maybe I'll get the clash over at his resting spot. And so you can see it's a lot of, we're just, you know, we're dodging, we're shoulder checking, we're going into our 2, we're going into our TCS, and you just kind of keep rotating through that. Another thing we can still do, of course, is going to be the wake up. When monsters get low and they run away to sleep, the greatsword is traditionally the wake up weapon of choice for many. And this should be even easier to hit now because of how TCS works. So we're going to hit there. Oh, I whiffed it. I done goofed. Oh well. This thing's gonna die in like half a second anyway. Actually, you know what? No, I want to get my perfect block off. I think that should have been. I could probably just kill it right here, but I'd like to show the clash attack, so let's let him hit us again. And from there, you will tap triangle to knock him away, and then that's going to put us straight into a TCS if it doesn't kill him outright. So yeah, that's largely why the TCS has been nerfed a little bit, because, you know, you do a power clash, you get a TCS. You do a offset slash, you're going to get a TCS. You break a wound, you're going to get a TCS. So if we had world TCS damage levels, we would just be ending monsters left and right. It would be like 1,000 damage, 1,000, 1,000, 1,000. They would just die. But yeah, I mean, honestly, I think Greatsword's in a fantastic spot right now. The offset and clash, having both of those is fantastic. We get a lot of lockdown on monsters when we pop wounds. You know, you saw him attacking and I was just like, no, I got your wound. You're messed up. And the wound attack in particular, it kind of sweeps through. So there's a really good chance of that hitting wounds compared to some of them, I feel. But either way, that is going to wrap things up for the Greatsword. So up next, we're going to have either Charge Blade or Insect Glaive, probably IG, just because that was the weapon that I had originally considered maining before I fell in love with the new Greatsword. But either way, we will wrap things up here for now, and I will catch y'all soon with more.